It's good to be back with you. We did the Meet the Manager first time round at the start of the season, and Lee was very open and honest on that occasion, and I don't expect it to be any different here this evening. We'll try to get through as many questions as we can. We'll do the format, because we've only got the one microphone, unfortunately, similar to the last time, that when someone's asking a question and Lee's in the middle of answering, if you've got a question you want to, just raise your hand and I'll pick you out for the next question so that we can keep it running as smoothly as possible. First of all, I suppose we should ask Lee about the first half of the season and your overall thoughts as how it's going.
We'd like to be better, of course. We feel that the last few weeks of the year, certainly, if we had kept our main players together, we could have been sitting going into the second half of the season in a top 6 position. That wasn't to be. It was damage limitation towards the end in terms of the numerical numbers we had and the positional issues we had. So we feel that improvement, of course, always, no matter what's happening, but we feel that we're in a positive frame of mind going into the second half of the season, 3 points off that 6th position, and having that team to face in the first league game after the break.
What's been your main concern for the first part of the season, or other concerns?
Oh, of course, always, no matter how things are going, and you know, a big thing for me, I think, in terms of when we talk about playing the teams in around us, with the exception of the first game against Motherwell, we've got positive results. So the big thing for me is when we've gone to the bigger clubs away from home and suffered heavy defeats, and it's finding a solution, because when we've come back here against those teams, exception of Aberdeen at home, we've put on good performances. That's normal with transfers. Some work, some don't. I'll be judged the day I go out the door, and that's the way it is. And I believe I'm working to give a better team, a better squad, certainly a better team. I think the last 3 or 4 games of the year worried us, and the concern that the squad isn't at the required level to handle injuries to important players. And you know, it's easy for people to say, but I'm dealing with rules and regulations. An example of that is I can't sign another Scottish player on loan over 21, because I have Scott Boyd and I'm only allowed one Scottish player over 21 on loan. The 3 boys that were bought from Newcastle, you know, without divulging confidential stuff, the deal that we have done in terms of financially to bring those 3 boys is ridiculous. You know, the football world would be astounded to find out how we've done that deal. You're talking about a young goalkeeper who's been numerous multi-million pound offers from various other English Premier League clubs, which Newcastle United have turned down. Alongside Angus Gunn is classed as the 2 best young goalkeepers south of the border. So it looks that way because of the way I'm dealing with the clubs, and a lot of players are coming from down south. But honestly, it couldn't be any further from the truth.
So the most strict up here with these deals, rather than doing so.
Well, I can sign as many players as I want on loan or from England of any age, but I can't. In Scotland, I've signed one over 21-year-old in Scott Boyd for the season on loan from Ross County, and I can't sign any more. But it's funny you should say that. I've got a bit of data today that was put to me thing, and it's percentage of minutes by youth products, every club. And Motherwell, who are classed as a club that gives their kids a chance, 25.5% of minutes by youth products. Kilmarnock, 26.4%. Then Hearts, 30%. Hamilton, 41.1%. And then the rest are all maximum of 11. You got Ross County on 3%. And then you go percentage of minutes by Scottish under 21s. Dundee 17.8, Hearts 17.9, Kilmarnock 15.3. So we're in the top 3. And I have a list, as long as my arm, of players who have been given a chance. Yes, under circumstances. But I still could have went with older players and ended up having to do what I'd done that night at Tynecastle. It wasn't square pegs and round holes. It was octagon pegs and round holes. You know, I had Ian Wilson is going to be a terrific midfield player because he'd had experience of playing centre half in under 20 games. He gets asked to play centre half alongside another young centre back. Young centre halves should predominantly be playing alongside an experienced one to help them. You know, we had Greg Taylor at right back and all these things. So I'm not frightened. I've said it all along. I'm not frightened, and I think it's a cheap shot. It's a cheap shot to see the English lads coming to say, I'm not giving the local lads an opportunity. I am very much. 2 16-year-olds in the squad, never been heard of. We've got Rory back, we've got Scott Boyd back, we've obviously signed Carly Osborne, so there straight away is 3 experienced players. Rory was playing really well before he got out the team. He was being influential for us. Scott has a lot of experience, and we believe the other boys will give us something different as well in terms of what people have already asked. John asked the question, do we need more goals? Of course we do, from other parts of the pitch. Sean Longstaff has 10 goals in 20 games. In under 23 football for Newcastle. Callum Roberts is the highest assist maker in the league and has 6 goals himself. So that tells you, if we get them the ball in the right area, that they can deliver and help, you know, Suleiman and the team to take the burden just off him, and hopefully we'll get Chris back to a level where he can start scoring goals on a regular basis as well. That was what I'm about. It's what I want my team to do. The way we pressed the ball when we were out of possession, the speed we played at, the quality we played at, the mixing up of the game when we played good short passes through the units, and then when we knew we had to get down the side of that centre halves with Nathan Tyson's power and pace, we'd done it great. We scored 2 terrific goals, and that was, for me, the performance that I wanted to try and deliver on a regular basis. Can you do it week in, week out? If lads are delivering them type of performances, they won't still stay at Kilmarnock very long, and that's a reality. But can I get them to do it more often? Yes, that's what I want, and that's what I believe can happen in the second half of the season. When you think about who we've got, who might be involved on the Saturday but mightn't play 90 minutes, with Hawkshaw, Frizzell and Wilson. So don't worry about Sunday. I understand the importance of that one. Don't worry. I understand the importance of that one. We've already talked about it. Me and the under-20 coach since the draw was made. So, you know, we fully aware of, and we want to go as far as we can. It's the Youth Cup. It's a prestigious competition. We want to go as far as we possibly can. We've been drawn against our local rivals, who that makes it even more sweeter. So you want to get a good result and progress. And so, yeah, listen, we have some very, very talented young footballers that will, you know, be really good players for this football club in time. And it's just unfair at first team level that sometimes they've been asked to do a man's job week in, week out. It's hard enough just dipping them in now and then, but some of them have been putting the team together and asked to do a man's job. But they will be big players, and when I said to come through the door, one of the things I wanted to do was to add value to the squad. And we've touched on Koulibaly, but we have 3 or 4 players that are, you know, of interest to other teams who would have to put money on the table, and certainly some of those younger players are catching the attention as well. So, but Sunday, I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm hoping that come Sunday night, I'm celebrating two big wins. Well, of course, we've had 2 very tight games against them this season. We won in the league there 2-1, and the 0-0 here. So we understand what the game's going to be like, and you know, we hopefully will have the impetus, and you know, the break has done us good, and we can play on the front foot and deliver a level of performance, repeat of what we give against Hearts. And if you do that, like you've already said that it would be too much for most opposition. He's going back to see the specialist in London in, I think, February 5th, and hopefully he gets the all clear then, and then we can safely get him back to a level in terms of his fitness where he can come with a group, and I might get him for the latter part of the season. So I think he's a great footballer, great young footballer that I've enjoyed working with immensely. I think he can get better as well. We can get him stronger physically. We've got him seen to by one of the top specialists in London to do the procedure. So he's worked with him, and we've stuck to his programme all the way through, even though at times you think he has gone ahead of schedule. I think it's important that we just be cautious with it and make sure he comes back and he's back for good then, and we don't have any relapses.
What was his injury?
It was a tendon behind the knee that attaches back the knee with the hamstring, so it was quite a big, that's why he's been out such a length of time, you know. It wasn't just a normal hamstring pull or something like that. Been a big miss. He's a big presence, he's a leader, he makes a difference to us as a group, and so, you know, if we can get him fit for the second half of the season, that's why, you know, I've got the confidence that we can go on and push up the table. Yes, that's been a big thing for us, and it's not just improved the recovery time of the players, it's improved a lot of aspects. We put them on a well-being app now, so we find out how they feel, how hard they feel the sessions were, and what they are the next morning before, or the next day before the next session, to enable us to see how quickly they recover. Also their sleeping patterns, with the quality of their sleep, and the feedback from the players is really good in terms of that. So I am thinking about going in there for about half an hour tonight, because being a football manager doesn't entail any sleep at all, and just worry. But you know, no, on a serious note, all those type of things are helping us, and that was a great opportunity, and I've got to say a big thank you to the board for enabling us to get that. In the long term, you'll see the benefits, and I think the players are feeling those. It was never going to happen overnight, but certainly in terms of the players who had long-term injuries as well, that can only help for us. I mean, you're more than welcome to have a go. The first chamber's only -60, and then the second one we've took it to a new level this week and took it to a -140. So, but I just recommend don't go in with Suleiman, because he goes that crazy. As he says to his gaffer, do I have to go in the fridge again?
As you look towards the remaining part of the league season, Lee, are you surprised by how close it has been from about 6th down to 11th?
Unbelievable, John. I mean, it's like we've all followed the same pattern over the course of the season, and when we've had wins, more than likely we've all had wins when we've had losses or whatever. So yeah, and that's why the second period is even more crucial. Can we hit the ground running, and you know, get ourselves in a position where we're looking above us and not below? That's where we want to be. We've still got that opportunity, and it's getting those running for positive results together, and to give you that confidence to do that. So that's what we'll be looking to do.
Where are you with regards to targets for quarters or whatever it is, points wise?
Well,
I think you gave me an indication.
Yeah, I mean, we feel a little bit short in terms of the points where we want to be, but because of the way the league's set out, you know, we're closer to where we want to. I've said it originally at the start that you're ultimately aiming to get in the top 6. You would love that, and then, you know, but an improvement on where we were last year in terms of not being involved in that madness come the end of the season means that there's been progression. But we obviously are looking now, because of the position we're in, to be challenging and be where, you know, Ross County are and teams of like that. So that's still our aim, and you know, we've had games where we've had the optimism to think that we can challenge that, and we've had also setbacks to think that we need to temper that. But I just believe if we can keep majority of the spine of our team fit, we've got a good chance.
This is the 20th anniversary of Kilmarnock winning the Scottish Cup. Are you going to make it a double celebration in May?
I would absolutely love to. It's understand of the 97, and that must have been a great time for the city and the supporters. And you know, when I've around the corridors and the football club, the motivational pictures I have with the current players and the sayings are underneath, the big thing for me was to get that, you know, those celebrations of the players and of the team who achieved that also on the pictures, because you've got to embrace the history of your football club that you're representing, and I certainly do. And I would love to think that come May, I can be celebrating alongside Ray Montgomery, just to get Ray off the mic now and then, you know, just because he's living off those days. So no, listen, it is. That's what the club's about, and you wanna try and be successful in that period.